all right, all right. Here we go. Good morning, Nick, and welcome to GCI Studios, episode number 223. 223. And it is a historic live stream. Here we have the sketch we did the last couple days, getting a Superman laid out in pencil. And there's Out of Touch one. And here are the WOOMER 36 counts acrylic marker set that they sent to me. So what happened was WOOMER Art Products, they're sent an email to me asking me if I'd be interested in doing a review on some of their product. Yes, we got the Dynamic Duo and we got the Catwoman here with us today, helping us with this review and demonstration. So I've never really used acrylic markers, so I agreed to this and sent them back an email. They ultimately sent me this set of 36 acrylic brush tip markers. So what we're gonna do, for sure, we're gonna get this logo all filled in with acrylic. And there's Out of Touch one, and there's Costy, and there's Nick. Thank you everybody for being here. And we're going to add color to the Superman and probably some of the background. We got the Daily Planet building right here. So let's see what this thing is like. First thing I notice about these markers, when you open this case, it's very cool. They're organized, but we have this center section that folds out. So you have all your markers kind of laid out right here, easy access, which I think is pretty cool. So we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get some of these out of here that I want to use for the logo. For the Superman logo, I'm going to need the black, obviously. I'm going to put that in my marker holder, so it'll be over here, a little quicker to access. We're also going to need all the blues eventually, so we're going to pull all these blue markers out of here, put them in order. And this dark one, we're going to need some dark shadows. And of course the reds, we're going to need the reds, especially for starting this logo. Yes, these are acrylic paint pens. There's no ink in these markers whatsoever. So it's all acrylic. And then the description of this live stream and on that post I put in the community section, I have a link to this exact set through GCI Studios to WOOMER. So if you guys want to try these out yourselves, you can go to those links and hit that 36 count marker set. I think I'm going to need some gray also, ultimately. Let's get that out and ready. And no doubt white and yellow. What organization? Let's get all the yellows, and I'm going to need the white, I'm sure. If I can hang on to them. Okay, we're just getting set up, getting familiarized with this set. Gonna need these flesh tones eventually. Get those out in the I'll put them back in here when I'm done. They're all numbered, so it'll be easy to keep track of. That way I'm not popping them in and out of here and dropping them on the floor. All right, let the games begin, as they say. So I'm thinking with the acrylic markers, since it is actually paint, I want to start, since I'm left-handed, I'm going to start on the right side and work my way back. So I'm not dragging my hand through wet paint. And one thing I did realize when I did my test last week, oh, there's Nova. I think you would really like these Nova acrylic markers, is that you can go over these with Sharpie, and that's where we'll get some of our black lines. So I'm just using the guidelines from the pencil sketch we did in the last few days. Hello, Incorrupted. Welcome back to the stream. And that will, those will straighten out those lines as well. Just follow the guidelines. Congratulations to Costi. Yeah, that Nova was really well done by Nick and Starfire. So far, I'm liking how the brush tip works on these. Gives you some really nice control. Goes on smoothly. You do, but I've noticed when I was shaking them first, it was putting down so much ink, it was leaving puddles on the paper. So I'm just trying it this way to get a thinner coat down first, so that I don't get that puddling effect. Yeah, there's instructions on here that tell you to give it a shake before you start using it. But I thought for especially this lettering portion, maintaining a little more control without the paint going everywhere, I would just give it a shot straight out of the pen. I just wanted to kind of get myself familiar with this stuff again. It's been this type of marker on some of the letters first before I get started on the Man of Steel. Albert Einstein, of course you should post it. That would be very cool. So this stream may actually go longer than 2 hours, so I know not everybody's going to be able to stay here for the whole thing. But thank you everyone for being here today. I got some more emails from another company that wants to perhaps do advertising through GCI's Draw Every Day. So I'm looking through that, researching them to see how legitimate they are. It's one of those game apps that people have on their phones and iPads. Yeah, so far I'm liking these. It's a different effect, much different than working with, obviously, the alcohol markers that I usually use. And I did get set up with Venmo yesterday, so I'm going to be able to sell my artwork. Did a lot of behind the scenes preparation, getting signed up with the affiliate program with WOOMER. I'm going to be getting set up with the affiliate program through Amazon to promote some of my other supplies that I use, give you guys discounts and links to some of the stuff that I use. The hearts are gone. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't do anything different today. I did set a timer for this one just to keep everybody posted. Maybe that did something to lose the stickers and yeah, it could be YouTube. I think I get this red done. I'm going to switch over to actually putting some color on Superman. I'm getting a feel for how they work. Internet error. Ooh. This one seems to be getting a little, I'm going to give it a little shake. Hopefully I don't get too much coming out. There we go. Yeah, it seemed to be losing some paint. So I just did a little shake and now it seems to be back into action. Yeah, I need to do another live stream of the brown bat. It's been a long time since I've drawn the brown bat. I know what you guys mean about your originals. I was looking back at some of the streams I did of the brown bat. I had 600 views on a long form live stream. I don't get anywhere near that anymore. That was back in the day. The brown bat really hit a chord when we were Hello, AJ. Welcome to the stream. I'm sure you can draw. You don't draw the way you want to draw, but I'm sure you can draw. And to be able to draw the way you want to draw, what you need to do is draw every day, which is the name of this series that we do here on GCI Studios. The reason we draw every day, for number one, we love to draw. I do. Many of the subscribers do. And the second reason to draw every day is because when you draw every day, you get better and better, and you ultimately are able to draw the way you want to get your pictures looking the way you want them to look. So I can come in and crisp up some of these edges with Sharpie later on. And greetings to you, Brown Bat. Hello, my name is Batman. I'm here because, I want to fight crime and whatnot, you see. So I think the brown bat should have an American butler instead of a British one. The brown bat is a Brit with an American butler. Yeah, Out of Touch One has this new thing that she learned about drawing cylinders, cones, cubes, and spheres every day for 2 months. And she said it's really helping her improve on her drawing skills. Correct? Isn't that what you said, Out of Touch One? All right, here's my test board. I want to see what this, I think that will do. Let's try that, because we can always go darker. But once you have a dark down, you cannot go lighter. So the face is kind of in shadow. Here we go. I'm going to kind of leave some of these pencil marks. That's what I did on my practice. Yes, but the brown bat is British. Yeah, Alfred is British. Bruce Wayne. But my brown bat character, version of Batman, he is from England. And so I just thought, well, since he's from England, why not have an American butler and do a twist on it? Andy the butler. Yeah, surfer who was in the circuit and laid over in Britain and got a job. Hey dude, I was just working on your bat wings the other night. It really started looking pretty cool, dude. Cowabunga. Yeah, so our light's coming from low on his right, it'll be our left looking at the picture. And the other thing with these, when you want to go lighter, you could just put a strip of a lighter color once this dries, and it will show right up. So for some hand detail, I can get a nice base coat of this shaded flesh tone. This is yellow 265, and then go right over that with a lighter color. For a highlight. Yeah, this is the Golden Age soups from the 40s with a little bit of a GCI flair. Okay, where do I want to go next? Let's see. I'm not sure how dark I want to go. I'm going to do an experiment. See what this looks like. I would rate that cami sketch out of 10, I would give it a 9.5. That was really good. You've introduced me to a lot of new characters from, what's that, the Street Fighter or one of them fighter games. I think they're pretty cool. Some pretty cool designs. Oops, my bad, dude. Yeah, totally wish I could be there, Bats, but the waves are pretty gnarly today. Woohoo! That girl should be German. Yeah, we have an international flair to the whole Batman scene. Was ist los, Batman? Rufen Sie heißen Kartoffel, bitte? Das ist Krieg. Well, so far, this review is going pretty smoothly. I do like these markers. I think it would take me a while to perfect the techniques, but so far, I am enjoying the way the color goes down. I like the brush tip. The control you have with the brush tip is amazing. I would certainly recommend these, and I think they're for more like a commercial graphic art. I like how, like bold the colors are. I want to thank WOOMER Art Supplies for giving me this opportunity to evaluate their product. And I would certainly recommend these to anyone else who thinks they would like to try working with acrylic markers. Almost gives you that like an animated cell when they used to paint on those clear, I can't remember what the actual name of those clear plastic cells for animation are called, but it has that look, that paint on that they would use for those animations. Whoa. Justin, there's some German for you. He said, "Are you Germany?" on the translator. Very cool, Justin, or just a normal NPC. I don't know what that means. So I'm going to go with this darker because this side's kind of in shadow, and that will make the lighter colors pop more when I do the highlights on this side of the Superman figure. So I just want to take my time and get these filled in with a minimal amount of spots showing through. Sometimes I get in such a hurry I can't color, stay between the lines. What was that he just said? He said, "You are American. Just a normal NPC." Okay, NPC. And then he said, "Hello." Hello is just hello. So NPC, are you from Germany then? Seems like you are. You're speaking German. You'd be a resident expert on what a German Batgirl would sound like. He just said, "No, I am American." He's just speaking German. Duolingo. Thank you everybody for being on here. Don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, we are doing a demonstration and review. So far, I am enjoying the review of these markers. I like the way they are going down, but I'll know a little bit more here when I switch to another color, trying to do the highlights on the Superman sketch. So we'll hold our 100% positive review until I start doing some other things here. Just done. Yeah, I see that. Just tan, that's pretty cool. Instead of NPC. Yeah, I was having trouble deciding what to call you myself. There we go. That will come back that way. Thank you everybody for being here. Don't forget to please hit that like button. If you're enjoying this review, these are acrylic markers, a much different type of marker than I typically use. I'm usually using alcohol-based various types of markers and sometimes Sharpie, but this is a whole new ball game for me. And WOOMER Art Supplies reached out to me in an email a few weeks ago, about a month ago, I guess, and asked if I would like to try out their product and give it a review. So this is the video. I'm fulfilling my part of the agreement. And we are doing basically a Superman cover. I'm using 200 series Strathmore Bristol board. It has the blue guidelines on it for sequential art and covers, and it is taking this paint really well, these paint markers with the brush tip. It's really holding up well. Don't have to worry about saturating the paper because it's very durable, almost like a cardstock Strathmore 200. I saw something the other day told about the history of AI, and it was really some guys from Google who were trying to perfect the function where you're typing in a search in Google and it anticipates what you're going to say, what you're going to type out, going based on, you know, what the most popular searches are. And while they were working on that, perfecting that software, helping it to be more intuitive, they accidentally created AI, and they don't know why it works, why AI works the way it does. All they know is that it works, and that's just one more reason to be scared of AI. Thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate it very much. That's already dry, that's good. Thanks for the likes. Yeah, it's too expensive. It uses too much water for these data locations. They have some fundamental issues if they're going to figure out. Yep, have a good day, Justin. And thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I kind of liking this blue. At first I thought it was going to be too dark, but I think when I start adding highlights and some black detail to it, it's going to be exactly what I was going for. This is truly painting, which is very, I've never been much of a painter, but markers, I guess, are a little bit better for me. Okay, so we gotta get these. Let's kind of leave some of this and curve this up because we're going to have a highlight on that side. And also, I don't have to leave all the stuff blank where the highlights are going to go because the light will go right over this darker color and block it out. Yeah, congratulations on reaching 200 subs, Costi. That seemed to go pretty quick once you started editing your own stuff. I think it really helped to give you a jump in your subscribers and your views and everything else. Good job. And the likes, I know the likes on your channel are way up. Good job, Nova, 151. Remember when you were trying to hit 100, now you're at 151. Okay, let's do some of these details. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm a fan of these markers. In the description of this, it takes you back to that post I put on the community section. There are links to this exact set of markers I have, the 36-piece WOOMER acrylic brush tip markers. So if you guys are interested, somebody was just asking about Homelander. Nova's got to go. All right. See you later, Nova. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your support, being on the stream. Thank you very much. Let me try this. Once again, this is a kind of a learning process for me, because I am not familiar with these types of markers at all. So there's a little bit of a learning curve. Hey, Art Core, thank you for being here. Appreciate your support and for your comment. Yeah, this is a review of WOOMER Art Supplies. They are the ones who supplied me these brush tip acrylic markers. And so far, it's been a pretty positive review. I've enjoyed using them. And it's just a matter of trying to get this perfected a little bit, get used to how it works. So you can come right up to this and actually cover over the darker stuff without any bleed through, which is pretty cool to have that kind of control. Got an idea for the transition between this lightest blue and the darkest blue. So I'm hoping that will work here in a second. You jump into it. Thank you for the likes, everybody. I'm hoping this will come together a little better as we go. I'm just, like I said, I'm still trying to figure this out myself. I thought I would do a little piece of rim light under here. See how that looks. I just laid my hand right in it. Okay, that's what you got to be careful about. Oh, there's Nick. All right, I better go on to something else for now, and while that dries some. Okay, so that is the blue I'm using for the lightest tone. All right, let's do a, I want to try this blue for the underside of the logo. I'm gonna work on a little bit of that while Superman dries. I don't want to lay my hand in there again. Thank you everyone for being here. This is GCI Studios. We are doing a review of WOOMER Art Supplies. This is a set of 36 acrylic brush tip markers that they sent me to do a review on. So if you guys would like to try out these acrylic markers, which so far I would recommend that you do for your art. I really like them. I didn't know how I was going to feel about acrylic markers, but yeah, I'm a fan. So there's a link. If you go to the description of this live stream, it takes you to the link of my community post. And in there I have a link to this exact set that I'm using, the 36-piece WOOMER acrylic brush tip markers. Yeah, you're right. It's a different technique and it takes some getting used to. Good point. Out of touch one. And I like the fact that you can come back and do the comic book style art with Sharpies and draw right up. Because on my practice, this is the one I did for practice, and you see all this black. I did that with this fine tip Sharpie. So it is very, I like the fact that you can do that and really get the comic book style going. Yeah, I think you're right. I made him a little bit stockier than the animated version. Does have a little bit of a George Reeves. Interesting fact about George Reeves. My grandfather bought a car from George Reeves' mother. Believe it or not. So I'm not sure if George Reeves was originally from Illinois or how it happened, but my grandfather was a wheeler dealer with automobiles, always buying and selling. And somehow he bought the car from George Reeves' mother, is the way the story goes back in the day. Well, yeah, and I can fix all that with the markers as well, the Sharpies. Especially doing lettering. I'm not a letterer. Yeah, I can get all that. Hey, Clone Trooper. Australia. Australia is my favorite country. I wish I lived in Australia. You guys have a desert there named after me. That's what I always bring up when I meet somebody from Australia. Thank you for the subscription. And I appreciate you being here from down under. So the Gibson Desert, named after me. And I believe Mel Gibson was from your great country. Yep, thank you for being here. Appreciate you subscribing. We can use all the support. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I like your handle. It's very cool. The Clone Trooper cat. Very cool. And then the white acrylic you can use as a kind of a white out also. Well, it just takes practice. That's what we tell everybody. If you want to improve your drawing, keep practicing. But I appreciate that compliment, though. I'm not going to dismiss it. Thank you for that. So I'm hoping this looks very retro looking, like old school. That's what I like. That's what I grew up seeing, the images that attracted me to Superman in the beginning. But it takes, you have to really want to do it. So, because it involves so much time and practice to improve your drawing skills. It's not something you can do just on a whim. You got to really work at it. So it's just a matter of, who wants it that bad. I love to draw. I get into my zone when I'm drawing. It's some of the happier moments for me when I'm drawing. It's true. You got to get on the trailhead first. Take that first step. That's a good comparison. Out of touch one. And believe me, I've climbed several mountains in Colorado. I know exactly what she's talking about. climbed about 14,000-foot mountains before. When I used to go to Colorado in the summer. You can't climb Ayers Rock unless you take that first step to get up the rock. I love mountains. I actually found an arrowhead while climbing a mountain one day on a trail that thousands of people had been on in the past, and everybody walked right over it. And I found the arrowhead laying on the ground. They had been hunting, the Native Americans who used it had obviously been hunting the ptarmigans because it was a really small bird point. And I've got it in my display here in my office with my other arrowheads that I found more locally in this area. You've got that big rock though, that big red rock. I'd like to climb up that thing if I wasn't so old. Ayers Rock or whatever it's called. I want to test this color. Yeah, I think that might work for a transition between the two. Oh, Uluru. Never heard of that. It's very cool though. I like some of those Aborigine words. So what time is it in Australia where you're at right now? And what day is it? Northern Territory. I love that territory lingo. It's like, isn't Australia like a day ahead? It's 4:51 in the afternoon on Saturday. Okay. And it's 3:50 a.m. on Saturday here. Thank you, Costi. Yeah, it's a work in progress, and to get it tightened up, you know, it's going to take me a little time and a few more steps, but I'm slowly getting used to this. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think this is one I'm actually going to frame up on my wall. light blue. I put my hand in this and messed it up, so I need to touch that up. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. Out of touch one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Can't remember which one I was using. I think it was this one. Yeah, this one. So I'm come back through and detail this face a little more. Yeah, I think I'm painting like the same way I use markers, and I know that's not right, but I feel like I'll get lost in space if I don't do it that way. I really lose my way and lose my drawing. So I just keep creeping up on it. Oh, you're doing your first stream? Awesome. And what are you going to be doing on your stream, Kat? All right, let me try something here. Q&A, okay. And what are the topics? What's the topic or theme of your stream, of your channel? You have another fan-made film for me? It's about the Punisher. Yeah, what's it called? Costi. You do silly things, and I have one long-form video, but I will make more. Very cool. I like supporting other YouTube creators. So while I'm waiting for Superman to dry, before I go to the next stage, I'll work on the logo. It's called Punisher Dirty Laundry. All right, let me write that down. Punisher Dirty Laundry. How long is this one, Costi? Dirty Laundry. Got it. Jack, welcome to the stream, Jack. You made it in time for the WOOMER Art Supplies review. And so far, I am a fan of the WOOMER acrylic markers. Just so everybody knows. Yeah, Captain Jack. It's 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back in with the red and true up some of these lines here. The black kind of takes over. Welcome everyone to the GCI Studios live stream. Thank you for your likes and please consider subscribing. We do DC content and today's live stream is all about a review. I'm collaborating with WOOMER Art Supplies today. They sent me a set of 36 acrylic markers and they asked me to do a review and demonstration, and that's what we're doing today. There is a link in the description of this live stream that will take you to my post. Yeah, I'm getting better at this as I go. My post on the community, and this exact set of 36 acrylic markers, you can hit that link and they will credit that to GCI Studios. I'm in an affiliate program with WOOMER, and I'm going to set one up with Amazon as well. Scallywag. Good one, Jack. Arg, you scallywag. Time to the yard arm. Avast me hearties. You scurvy dog. Yeah, that was pretty good. Get a little better each time. Certainly. Costa, you know I always want to see the posters. Posted the poster? Okay, in the community. Thank you. I will check that out here in a second. So again, I'm hoping to clean up some of these lines a little bit with the Sharpie when I come back over it with the Sharpie later. Thank you for the likes, everyone. Please consider subscribing if you're enjoying this content. We have over 2,000 subscribers. We have a really good community section, a lot of good artists, and even some writers within our community. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Stop doing the marker technique. You gotta remember, this is paint. This is not a marker. Even though they're calling it a marker, it is not a marker. So I could do one, a little bit of that, and then a long one up to it. I think that helps me better. So I'm not freaking out and getting wobbly at the end of it. There, that went a little better. And I'll see, hopefully I can tighten it up with the Sharpies. Goo Goo! Where's Goo Goo? All right, let me check out your poster. And take a little break for a second. Here we go. GCI Studios Comuniteo. Dirty laundry. That's pretty cool. The Punisher's carrying a laundry basket. They're really going literal with the dirty laundry part of it. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you for watching me do this review and learn how to use acrylic markers. It's going to take practice before I can get the way I want it to be, but yeah, it's a little bit different approach. So I just want to thank WOOMER Art Supplies for giving me this opportunity. Because I don't think I would have, I was thinking about acrylic markers literally like a week before WOOMER contacted me. And then they contacted me. I thought, yeah, I want to try this out. Yeah, he's really actually trying to get blood stains out of his costume, seems like. And I think the big dilemma in the movie is going to be, should he use fabric softener or not? Bum, bum, bum. Thank you, everyone, for the likes. Please consider subscribing. Yes, this is a work in progress. I am just learning. Danny. Good morning, Danny. Welcome to the GCI Studios live stream. One big happy family. We have our moments, a little dysfunction here and there, but all in all, it's a pretty happy family. Yeah. Should I go gentle and normal, load, hot water, cold water? Yeah, thank you for being here today, Danny. We're getting a lot of the good old originals with us today. And we've added some new ones. New one from Australia. We had a German-speaking friend on here. Yeah, he's the igniter. He sparks all the dysfunction. Of course, Nismo's off today. They're probably doing some stuff in memory of his grandmother who passed away a year ago at this time, and which I remember that. His mother passed away, and then my mother, his grandmother, and then my mother later in the year. Yeah, last year really sucked for family stuff. All right, I think what else, well, I got this black out. Let's get Superman's hair going. And I can just completely black this out because I can always come back with some white if I want some highlights or a light blue. Thank you very much, Danny. Yeah, they are acrylic markers with a brush tip. They're just like using acrylic paint. And it is WOOMER free, ink free. WOOMER Art Supplies that I am working with on this. So Zoe, that I've been communicating with, she will be happy to see this. She watches my channel and tracks it, and she said she liked the fact that we do the lives every day, and that's one of the reasons they wanted to get try to highlight their product here on the channel. I'm going to do something here. What did I do with my pencil? I'm holding it in my hand. I'm going to bring this down like this so we can have some red in there. There. That way I could black out everything in between here. Yeah, we need some black to get this comic book effect going, so. I will blacken the underside of his cape. So I need to be really careful here. I don't want to get into the body, but up to it. And the hand. There we go. Awesome. Thank you, Clone Trooper Cat. Appreciate that, Cat. And you have no idea how glad I am to have someone from Australia within our community. That really makes my day. big fan of Australia. And I used to drink beer. I used to drink Foster's all the time. Which I guess people from Australia don't really like Foster's. But I don't drink beer anymore, so those days are gone forever. Oh, there we go again. I gotta be careful. Let some of this dry. Sweet. Thank you everyone for being here. Appreciate the likes. This is GCI Studios live stream in cooperation with WOOMER Art Supplies. This is a demonstration. I've never used acrylic markers before, and they offered to send me a set for free so that I could give them a review on one of my videos, include their product in the title, which I did. And I have some links where you guys can go and try these markers out for yourself. Okay, let me see here real quick. There we go. There. That's a little better. Yes, this is a work in progress. Hey everybody, give me 1 second. I need to go get another shot of coffee. We are 79 minutes into this live stream, and we're going strong. All right, we're up to our shenanigans again. Okay, I'm gonna clean up that Superman thing a little bit more in a minute. Now that I'm getting some of my, oh, I see what I forgot to do. That's why it looks funny up here. Need to add some black. There we go. Much better. Now let's touch up some of this red. So the red over the black takes a few layers. Better go this way since I started with the M. Yeah, this is a real process. It takes some practice. Thank you for being here, everyone. Please don't hesitate to hit that like button if you're enjoying this content. You are witnessing the first product review of the GCI Studios. We're using episode of Draw Every Day to review these WOOMER acrylic markers with the brush tip. So it's basically like painting with acrylic. Acrylic paints. And like I said before, so far I am enjoying this, and I think this is something I could get used to using. Believe it or not, my grandson tried to talk me into using these 4 or 5 years ago, and I just kind of, yeah, whatever. And if I would have started 4 or 5 years ago, I would have been pretty proficient at it by now. Oh yeah, Logan the Wolf, that was pretty good. Although I think Logan's supposed to be a Wolverine, but whatever. That was quite the action-packed movie. And a lot of these fan-made films are more like movie trailers. The best ones are like movie trailers, like that Wonder Woman was really cool, but it was more like a trailer to an actual legitimate movie, in my opinion. Welcome everyone to the GCI Studios live stream. All right, I'll get my test board. What color? Oh, I think I got some black on this. So I want to test this next to the True Red. Next to that's pink, virtually pink. Yeah, that's pink. And this is a variation of red according to them. So I wonder what that would look like. This is actually a lot of fun. Enjoying this a lot. Welcome everyone to the GCI Studios. This is a review of WOOMER art supplies. They have sent me a pack of 36 acrylic markers, and we're in the process of doing a review. So far I am a fan. I'm doing basically a comic book cover of the Golden Age Superman. I sketched that out the previous 2 days on the GCI live stream, Draw Every Day. And so now we are doing the review and demonstration of the WOOMER art supplies. So be sure and hit that like button if you're enjoying what we got going here. We got the Superman logo going. It's a process with paint. You gotta do things in layers. I want to find something with the boots. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking with the boots. Appreciate the likes, everybody. Might have to finish this tomorrow. I don't know, we're gonna go at least 2 hours today, that's for sure. Hope these markers have enough juice in them for a drawing of this scale. I think they should be all right. And one thing I'm learning, it's like with drawing a straight line. When you're drawing a straight line, let me do a demonstration. And we'll use this Sharpie. All right, here's how you draw a straight line without a ruler, or try to. So you want to go from point A to point B. Put your pin on point A, and it's all about where you focus. So you don't want to focus on the marker itself, you want to focus on point B. So point A, you look down to point B, like that. So you have a point here, you start there, and you look at where you want to go, not where your pin is at. And hopefully the paper doesn't slide. And it's sliding. Point A to point B. And that's how you keep your line straight. And so I'm starting to use that technique here with these brush pens, and it is beginning to keep my lines straighter. I'd like to give you guys things that I have learned, tips. And yeah, I'm learning this process along with you. And as I'm going, I'm learning techniques that are helping me to make this better step by step. And I have, like I said before, I've given Bible lectures in front of 500 people before, so I am used to teaching when I know what I'm talking about. And I was we call a school overseer, where I had 120 students, and I was teaching them how to be public speakers. So I have some teaching background, but like Touch One was saying, painting is not one of my areas of expertise, so I am in the process of learning how to do this. Hello, Art Core, you're back. And welcome back to the stream. We are still working on today's review of WOOMER art supplies. So if you look in the description of this video, there's a link to the community post that I did earlier this morning. And you can go and order this exact set, 36 acrylic markers. Let me show you. This is the set. I've got the ones out that I'm using, which I know that freaked out of Touch One a bit to see me pulling everything out of here. But this is the brand name WOOMER, W-O-O-M-E-R, 36 acrylic markers. And the farther I get into this demonstration and review, the more I am enjoying these markers. So I would attach my name and give them my support. I think it's a really good, cool product. It's kind of refreshing to use something different other than the typical, you know, the acrylic markers that I typically use. It's nice to be doing something a little different. And once again, I want to thank WOOMER for giving me this opportunity and sending me the free product so I could try it out. Made me feel like I've really arrived in the YouTube world, creator world. I'm getting emails from companies that want to work with me. Like I said, I got another email yesterday from one of those gaming apps that wants to advertise on here and set terms with me. I'm not sure. I'm going to do more investigating before I agree to anything. But it's just cool to have the opportunity. Thank you guys for being on there, keeping the chat going for me while I'm focusing on getting this done. Another tip, okay, here's another tip for acrylic markers for you guys. So when I did my practice run last weekend, and it came time for the shield right here, so what I did was I just painted this whole thing black and then went over it with the red. And it's really hard for the red to cover the black. You can see it's a little bit, you can see through it a little bit. It didn't completely cover the black. So what I'm going to try to do this time is outline the S and then try to make the lines crisper that way and the color more vibrant. So going over the black with red, at least, it was a little bit of a challenge. This is actually my first painting, believe it or not. I think it's pretty believable, but I think I'm going to actually get this black going clear over here. And now I'm running my hand right through the paint again. All right, you gotta go do something else. Yeah, not used to this at all, having to worry about how wet it is in some areas. But it does dry fast. There we go. That will do. All right, where could I go? Okay, let's do some, get some red going up here. This light's hitting this pretty directly, so it'll be a lighter red. And then instead of doing black underneath the shadowed area, we'll do a little bit darker red and see what that looks like. And we'll put the dark red over here on this portion. And we'll have to come in with some acrylic. What am I talking about? We'll have to come in with some Sharpie on that one later. All right, step by step. Okay, we get these boots blocked out. I'll probably do some black over this. But we can get it started out in the basic red. Leave that outer edge for a highlight. Thank you for being here, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing. We do DC content every day. And this is a collaboration with WOOMER Art Supplies. They contacted me, asked me to do a review and demonstration with their markers and/or, so I'm doing both, a review and a demonstration. And I am learning how to use acrylic markers as we speak, as we go. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. Where'd everybody else go today? Everybody falling asleep? Are you guys still there with us? With me and Jack and Out of Touch one? I know Nick's probably getting tired if he's not already asleep. Yeah, it's a process. I'll tell you, it takes a lot more patience and forethought than just using regular markers, that's for sure. Oh, there's Nick. He's still with us. I'm thinking about making this S fuller because some of the images they have are really bold insignia. Other ones are a little bit less. Hey, Rustic Spin Groove, welcome back on this fine Saturday morning. You're up early for a Saturday. And thanks for being here. Yeah, the acrylic marker review for WOOMER Art Supplies is going pretty well. I was actually getting a little bit nervous about it, but now that I'm into it and it's moving, I'm actually enjoying it a lot. Yeah, I like this white. I'm going to be using this a lot on other projects. I'm here to tell you. Okay, well, I'm letting some of that dry. I'm going to go back to the Superman shield, his logo on his chest. I'm going to beef up this just a bit before I get too much of the black background in. What are you trying to open? Sorry, I missed. That's one posting. Chris Reeves Superman figure on the community. What? Are you posting that? You have a Christopher Reeve? Did you post something, Out of Touch one? Oh yeah. Very cool. Christopher Reeve action figure with extra heads and extra hands. That's very cool. Thank you for putting that on there. Very awesome. I wish I had one of those. Welcome everyone to the GCI Studios live stream. You have entered the WOOMER Art Supply review. We are reviewing their acrylic brush tip markers today. And so far I am a big fan. And we're just kind of partway into this. It takes a little time to get things cleaned up. Let me demonstrate one thing you can do. Like with this, you can come with Sharpies and go right over that and sharpen these lines up. That's why they call it a Sharpie, because you can sharpen your lines up. So that's when it's going to come together, when I start with the Sharpies. Look at that. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. See, that's more my wheelhouse using markers, but I can complement the acrylics with the markers. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. You can even do that effect that they did years later. And if I don't like it, I can paint over it. All right, so that'll be what's coming up when we start getting some of those details in. I think I want to finish with the black on the cape. I keep wanting to turn this upside down. Okay, I will leave that open. Or some red. Thank you for hanging in here, everybody. Thank you for the likes. Please consider subscribing. We do content like this daily. This is a little bit special because it's a product review. I'm working with WOOMER Art Supplies. They sent me a set of 36 of their acrylic markers. So I'm learning how to use acrylic markers while I'm doing a review of their products. And I am a fan of their product so far. If you go to the description of this live stream, that is so cool. You can just go over there and correct anything that mistake you made with the black. I went right over it with this dark blue. And the black is gone. Very cool. Yeah, I would highly recommend these. So if you go to the description of this, it'll take you to the description to a post I did on the community earlier this morning. And in that post, there are links to this exact set of acrylic markers that they sent me. And you guys can order that through that link. And it will support the GCI studios and WOOMER at the same time. All right, I was going to go ahead and redo this logo a little bit. Make it fill up the shield some more. All right, let's keep on moving here. See if I can get this Yeah, I like this old school Superman emblem with the black background and the gold or yellow trim around it. I've always been a fan of that. I'd like to have a t-shirt with that logo on it. Yeah, we're at 23 likes. Thank you everyone for that. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you're enjoying the content today. And consider subscribing if you'd like to see more. I think we'll be working on this because I have some buildings back here I want to do. I'm thinking about doing a sky, but I don't want to mess it up more than I already have. So this is a product review for WOOMER, but it's also a demonstration of their product, and it's also a learning video for me because I've never really used acrylic markers before. So I'm learning as we go. And I'll be able to clean it up, like I said before, with Sharpies. That's what I did with my practice run. Let me show you the practice run I did last weekend. So that was kind of my plastic practice run on a piece of cardboard. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Please don't hesitate to comment. We have a good community here. We welcome new ones to give us their input. We've had one join from Australia today, subscriber. And that was really great. Call her Kat. And she has her own channel. She said in 24 hours she's going to be doing a live stream, her first live stream, so that's really cool. Yes, Kat. Everybody should, who gets a chance, check out her stream tomorrow, 24 hours. So right now on this stage, I'm just getting all the colors laid in, blocked in. I'm trying this as another technique for highlights to really show the brightness. Kind illustrative technique. See if it works. If it doesn't, I can always paint over it. I don't like the effect. Yeah, I might paint over that. Oh no, you're not feeling good? Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't mean to brag, but I have not been sick since February of 2024. I have not had one sick day. And I attribute that to my diet, which I am a carnivore. I only eat meat. Probably some of you have heard of the carnivore diet. And anybody who can do it, I would recommend it. It helps brain function, it helps everything. It cures autoimmune diseases. I have literally not had a stomach ache, cold, nothing since 2024. It's incredible how well it works. It's curing things like multiple sclerosis, dementia, Alzheimer's. Carnivores curing diabetes, all kinds of autoimmune diseases, psoriasis. There is a doctor who has a YouTube channel. He lives in Australia, in Perth, and he has a YouTube channel called The Plant Free MD, Anthony Chafee. I watch his streams every day. He talks about the carnivore diet. I recommend anybody who's interested in optimum health, check out Dr. Anthony Chafee's YouTube channel. He is a neurosurgeon, and he is a metabolic health instructor and teacher. He's an American, but he lives in Australia. And he's the one I use to get my carnivore lifestyle on track. So anybody who's struggling with any autoimmune disease, it has put into remission cancer, the carnivore diet. Welcome everyone to the GCI Studios live stream. Thank you for the likes. This is a collaboration with WOOMER Art Supplies. Look it up, WOOMER. They have color pencils, which I know Nova would enjoy. And they have acrylic markers, other products. And they sent me this pack of 36 acrylic markers to do a review. So that's what we're doing right now. All the color on here that you see has been done with WOOMER acrylic markers, which I've never used acrylic markers before, which kind of shows some of my technique is a little sloppy. But the good thing is you can go over these with Sharpies to sharpen up the lines. Yeah, it's starting to come along. It's a process. You got to be patient. I'm learning patience with my art. I can't just fly through it like I usually do. I got to think about it step by step. So I feel a little more comfortable, like I'm getting a little control back by doing some of this outlining with Sharpie. I got to clean it off a little bit once in a while because it starts getting a little bit clogged up. But we got a Stormtrooper. Yes, hey Stormtrooper, welcome to the GCI Studios live stream and product review of WOOMER art supplies. We're doing the Golden Age Superman based off the Max Flashman animations from the 40s. Yeah, we're going way back. But this version of Superman is one of my favorites. So I thought, well, to do a review and make it look retro and almost animated style for these acrylic markers, why not do a Max Flashman version of Superman with a little bit of GCI technique blended in. And like I was saying before, it is a process. I'm going to get some of my details back. With the Sharpie. I'm going to see how a fine liner works on here. I'm going to do like a 10. This is another experiment. I've never tried this before, but that's way too big. I don't want to get stupid. Stupider. Welcome everyone to the GCI Studios live stream. This is a review of WOOMER art supplies. We are working in cooperation with WOOMER today. Oh yeah, these work too. All right, awesome. This is I colored this entire thing with these WOOMER acrylic brush tip pens. So it's a process. It's very different than using alcohol-based markers. So we're doing this step by step. Thank you everyone for being here. Please give me your comments, your input. Oh, Darth Vader's a good boss, especially when he uses the Force to choke you out when you don't get your chores done. I said, mop up that floor. You infidel. Luke, I am your father. Man, that's still not dry. Not too bright. Might get to the point where I have to just stop because I'm messing myself up. Oh no, sorry about that, cat. Well, thanks for hanging in here, even though you're not feeling the best. I'm gonna try something. This is only a test. Let's see if I can use this to protect my hand without messing up the paint that I've already put down. So I don't drag my hand through it. go. There we go. That's kind of what I was going for with that one. Yeah, I'll check that out when I get some time. Clone Trooper Cat. It's okay if we just call you Cat, or would you rather be called Clone Trooper? There we go. All right, we'll call you anything. Yeah, in these little areas, I just am leery about, you know, messing up. I guess the little mini brush strokes, like marker strokes, is what's messing me up. Yeah, it's a process. I go back to my old ways quite frequently. I'm trying a technique. I think I like it. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to pursue that later. I don't know if it's a bad habit as much as I just don't know what in the world I'm doing. Yeah, it's probably a bad habit. Bug climbing across my paper. Get off my paper, bug. While Superman is drawing, I'm going to try to detail out some of the logo here using the my XWT micro lines, which I'll be doing a link for that when I get my affiliate set up with Amazon. You guys can order them through GCI, and use the same products I use if you want to. Thank you everyone for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing, because this is the type of content we do every day. We haven't missed a day since probably August. July or August was when I first started doing these of last year, and we have not missed an episode. One day they didn't get the morning episode in, so I did one later in the day, so we did get something on here. Coop and a chicken. That's fun. Yeah, we're up to 24 likes. Thank you everyone for the likes. Not bad. Appreciate the support. Those of you who are watching now, please consider hitting that like button. See if we can get 30. I think 30 was the best we've ever done. You know, I ended up doing like 32 or 33 eventually, but so we can sharpen up these lines with the well, this isn't a Sharpie, but with this pigment pen, fine liner. All right, I need to block out these boots. Welcome everyone to the GCI Studios live stream. Thank you for being here today. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. I'm gonna try something a little different on this boot. Remember, this is a learning process for me since I've never really used acrylic markers. I'm very grateful to WOOMER for giving me this opportunity. I am enjoying these markers. Men, women, countrymen, lend me your ear. I think that would work better. Let me try something. All right, Black Adam versus Thor, Hemsworth. Yeah, afraid I'm gonna have to go Thor as well. All right, I'm gonna add some detail with this fine liner to give it that comic book appearance. That we like to go for here in the GCI Studios world. Hello. Oh yeah, he lost his hair. You mean when The Rock did the Black Adam? He lost his credibility. There, how's that look? Is the chin better? Thank you. I'm glad I fixed it. You freaked me out for a second. So, in the real painting world, you would never do these kind of outlines, but in the comic book world, that is the style we are going for. And since that's what I do, comic book world, there, now we're tightening it up. Now it's looking like a GCI Studios sketch. Yeah, what was the animated movie? It was my childhood growing up. You want to hear what animated movie was my childhood growing up? Yes. Fighting for truth and justice. And humanity. The Iron Giant. Of course it was. Of course it was. Yeah, I'm digging this thing now. It's really coming together. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Doing some of my GCI flair to it now. I ain't seen the sunshine since, well, I don't know when. Stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. And I hear those whistles blowing on down the San Antone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. Well, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Hello, Damien. This is a DC Comics property. This is the original superhero in all the world, and the original design of the original superhero of all the world. The world did not know what a superhero was until this iteration of this character was created. by those two Jewish boys from Cleveland. We had, back in those days, in the late 30s, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. I believe it was Joe Shuster was the artist, and he came up with this first superhero. Oh, for the Iron Giant. I think the Iron Giant is DC. It's just a Warner Brothers property. Okay. But since Warner Brothers owns DC, they can put Superman and Iron Giant together. All right, let's see where we're at here. I want to keep it true to some of the Max Flashman way of doing things. Everybody for being here. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Okay, once again, if anybody, this is a review and demonstration of WOOMER acrylic markers. So they contacted me. I do have a link to this if you look into the description of this live stream. There's a connection to a post I did today in the community, and there you'll see a link to this exact 36 count acrylic marker. If you guys want to try it out, please use that link. And there is a discount code, WOOMER, I think it's WOOMER 10 in the discount code too. So I think I can go back down to here now. I'm going to get the true red. Where did I put the true red? Oh, this is it. Okay. And please don't hesitate to hit that like button and consider subscribing. We have a really cool community here. You can see them talking back and forth, some of the moderators here at GCI Studios. We have some really cool moderators who are also artists and writers. Hey, that's a pretty cool effect right there. I'm learning bit by bit. Thank you for being here, Damien. Appreciate you joining. And please, everybody, don't forget to hit that like button if you're enjoying the content here today. I'm going to try something, go on a limb, and see if it works. Yeah, not bad. Yep, we're glad to have you, man. You and Kat. We've got some new friendly faces here on the GCI Studios live stream. Get this blended in a little nicer. I have been drawing for over 50 years. Haven't done any commercial work. This channel is the closest thing I've done to commercial work. Before, I would just draw here in my studio by myself, and I'd be the only one seeing my artwork. Since I started this up in the end of 2024, over 2 million people have been seeing my artwork since then. So I gotta fix that up a little bit. That was an experiment. There we go. Yeah, we get that a little bit more. So I can do a little bit of a blend. I think that works instead of that hard line separation. All right, we've been going for 146 minutes, over 2 hours. What should I do, folks? You want me to keep going or take a break and continue this tomorrow? What do you guys think? You up for continuing this stream? I'll let you guys vote. I can keep going if you guys want to. Okay, Damien's got to go. Yeah, give me your honest opinion, because we have tomorrow. We can do another extended stream tomorrow. If you guys want to keep going, I don't want to keep you if you got other things you got to do, like get some sleep or whatever. Thrill House says keep going. Costi says keep going. And the out of touch one's going to fall asleep. All right, I'm going to keep going. for, let's go, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I kind of like that effect where I took the dark and brushed it into that light. That is very cool. Good night, Out of Touch One. Thank you so much for being here. You were a big part of this dream. I appreciate all your help and support and your honesty. You have a good night. You are a big part of the GCI community. Out of Touch One. Big, big part. Yeah, the streams aren't the same when you're not here. Like with you and Nick and Costi. We feel the same way. It might start getting noisy around here. I might have to wrap this up. See, people are moving around. Please don't hesitate to hit that like button if you're enjoying this. Oh, we won't. We will not get crazy. It's interesting how with these acrylic markers, everything is reversed. So you put in the color first is what works, and then you come back later and do the detailing, all the line work. So it's interesting how things are just a little bit different, but you can still get a pretty cool effect. So once again, I want to thank WOOMER Art Supplies for making this possible, sending me the markers. I will also be putting up a link to their 120 piece or 110 or 120 piece marker set. Will give more variation in color. Thank you, Nova. Good. Yep, you got to keep up your strength, Costi. So I'm just going to kind of go through and get my basic lines the way I normally do it. So this is a little more comfortable for me. A little more what we're used to seeing here in GCI Studios artwork. But I don't want to get too carried away and take away from what we've done here with the markers. The acrylic. I know I wanted to get some more highlight coming in on this leg. The logo typically has a highlight that comes in here. When you see the Max flasher. That's one thing I like about this. You can add your highlights later. Thank you for being here, everyone. Please don't hesitate to hit that like button and consider subscribing if you're enjoying this. This is kind of a historic stream. It's the first collaboration with a art supply company, and the company we're working with today is WOOMER. They do a lot of color pencils, which you would probably be interested in, Nova, and a lot of acrylic markers, brush pens, basically. So this is what we're using today, doing a review, and so far it's a very positive double thumbs up review for WOOMER acrylic markers. And just kind of going over the lines, I want to keep that comic book feeling to this. Like I said before, this breaks every rule in actual painting. That's why my paint classes didn't go well, because I was doing them in comic book style, and the painting teacher did not appreciate that when I took that in high school. Right now, my all-time favorite drink is water. Since that's pretty much all I drink. I do take an electrolyte drink, which has some artificial sweetener in it, but my all-time favorite is water. Kind of boring, but that's what it is. Water! Okay, the likes have slowed down. I think we're down to a few people here watching. quick before we log off here. Coming from this black with this hatching, true comic book style. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, where that works. Yeah, I keep learning new techniques on what I want to accomplish with this. Aquaman was boring, yep. Kind of a third-rate hero. Yeah, Jason Momoa did really put Aquaman back on the map. On the map, period. Thank you for being here, everybody. Please don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing. We're going to be back on here working on this piece again tomorrow. This is one of our more completed projects, adding color. I want to do the effect on the trunks where they black it out, kind of filter it into the edges with the red. I gotta get this blocked in. Thank you very much, Nick. Yeah, I'm having a blast with this. Getting a nice finished looking product here. I have to go in and touch in some of these white areas. Probably do that, work on that tomorrow. And I can do a little bit better comic book edge with that, probably with the liner pens when this dries. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap this up right here, everybody. I want to once again thank WOOMER Art Supplies for making this possible and supplying their product for a review and a demonstration. We're going to continue this demonstration tomorrow. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you Nick, thank you Costi, thank you Out of Touch One, and Nova, and Danny, and Jack. Just to mention a few, Kat from Australia, thank you for joining. Appreciate everybody being on here. And Damien, thank you Damien for being a part of this. Another new friend that we had join. So thank you everyone for the likes, and for those of you who subscribed, welcome to the GCI Studios community. And we will certainly be back here tomorrow, same time. And we're going to keep on working on this. Yep, this will be it for today. We went over, this is the longest stream we've ever done here at GCI Studios, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. Have a great day, and remember, do one favor for me. Please draw every day. Later.